Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Solve. In today's video, we are going to solve a hill-based, a map-based question which was asked in 2014 by UPSC, right? From this video, the more important thing is not just the answer for this question. You have to understand how and how to prepare maps and hills for attempting prelims. So we'll be having questions like this which was asked in 2014, a very recent day question since the pattern changed, right? So on the left side we have been given hills and on the right side we have been given the regions, right? So we have to identify which of these pairs are correctly matched. Now, as I said, apart from the answer of this question, you need to expect questions like this. You need to study hills, and there are various other facts also you need to study, like say rivers, the tributaries, the direction, the important cities through which they are flowing, or say national park, or like say biosphere reserve or tiger reserve. All these kind of things, they are interrelated to hills. So if you should be taking the physical map and you should be studying like these physical features, more importantly the hills. As seen in this question, that they have directly asked the hills and they interrelated it with the regions, right? But that need not be the case always. I mean, if you have seen some environmental questions, you will be coming across various questions where they are interlinking hills with national park or as I said, the other tiger reserve or the reasons, the reasons which are there in news, so something related with that, right? So you have to study these hills. At the same time, you have to study some other facts, which I already mentioned, like say the rivers, their tributaries, national park, reserves, and everything, right? So whatever you are studying, always study it in a particular pattern, so that it will be easy for you to remember. So most students, they say that it's difficult. I mean, map questions, it's difficult for them, right? And the thing is that we'll be going through it say once or twice, and we'll expect us to remember those facts which are studied, but that won't happen always, right? You can study these things and you can correctly answer a question from these fact-based questions from say related to geography and environment. You can only do that by repeatedly going through it. And when I'm saying repeatedly going through it, you have to revise it, right? And how in the sense, how to remember this more efficiently is by developing in a single pattern in which you can study the fact. I'll make it more clear. For example, right, suppose if you're studying say the mountains in the peninsular region. So we'll start with say Western Ghats and we are studying the hills, towards the southward direction, right? Starting with the Western Ghats, various mountain peaks and things like that. At the same time, also study the river, right? In the same direction, starting from the northeastern, from the Western Ghats all the way up to the southern regions, because the rivers are flowing from west to east. And the most often the river will, not just most often, the river will always be flowing from the higher slope down slope regions, right? The river needs that slope to follow. For example, right, if you are say considering say Godavari or Krishna or Bhima, any river, right? They all start from the Western Ghats and they are ending up the Western Ghats, starting at the Western Ghats and ending up the Eastern Ghats. So if you are studying the hills in that order, you'll also be remembering the rivers in that order, right? So it will be easy for you to interrelate various concepts, and when the question comes, sometimes it will be statement based. You will be needing to apply your knowledge there, so you will be able to eliminate these statements. So similar way, when you are studying a particular fact, study all the facts in the same order. Right now I have told you the case of Western Ghats, right? So if you are trying to study the entire physical map, you can start with say the Western Himalayas, right? And you can study the mountain ranges there. You can study the rivers there, almost like say Indus Valley is between which all mountain ranges. Similar way, you can study all the hills, rivers, same national park, biosphere reserve, all those things in that region, study in the same order itself. So you'll be able to better align these things and you'll be able to connect things, right? Now, so from Western Himalayas, you can study the case of say central regions. So study all the central mountains in the central regions, right? The top of the northern flank of Peninsular Plateau. What are the physical features and what are the hills? And you'll also be getting the rivers, because all here the rivers, if you look at the northern part of the Peninsular Plateau, in which direction is the rivers flowing? If you guess it they'll be flowing towards the northern direction, towards into our plains, right? Say Ken, Betua or Chambal or Son, all these rivers, they're flowing into the plains, because the slope of the land is such that the Peninsular Plateau is elevated region, plain is a mean sea level region, not mean sea level, having lesser slope. So what happens is that the river will be flowing from this peninsular region towards the northern plain. So when you are studying a hill, study also the rivers which are starting from that order, right? So you'll be able to interrelate concepts. Same way, after the central region, study the Western Ghats. Then all the way go up to the northeastern hills, the Brahmaputra and the various tributaries and major hills there, and you can come all the way up to the eastern region. So if you do this, even if you get a tough question, you'll be able to at least eliminate few statements, by interrelating these national park, hills, the rivers and their tributaries and the cities through which they flow and the direction in which they flow. If I ask you, what is the direction of rivers, say Chambal or Ken or Betwa? Since you remember that the Peninsular region is an elevated region, and since you gave a thought to that, you'll be easily able to remember that they all are flowing towards the northern region, right, into the plains. Similar way, if you understand the topographical map, you'll be able to better understand all these facts which you need to remember, right? So the main purpose of this video is to make you understand this, you have to study the maps, not just by hearting or mugging up all the things, rather by interrelating things and repeatedly going through it, repeatedly revising whatever you have studied, right? And another thing is that, according to the current trend, we are having questions coming from regions which are recently in news. Not just from the political or physical map of India, also regarding the world map. So all the various, say, certain cities which are coming in news, say probably because of civil war or various conflict or say IR related something, right? Anything which makes a region come in news. Note down those region and why it came in news, right? So as I said earlier, we have to revise, and when you're revising, give importance to these regions or maps or location places which come in news, right? So, if you're going through atlas, they won't be having the current affair related places or anything in news, right? So you have to update your map, you have to mark it there, okay, this region came in news, or you can maintain a separate notebook. And when your prelims comes, or in between, you have to repeatedly revise these things so that you will be easily able to remember it. So the base things, the topographical map, river, the hills and all those things, plus you have to study these regions or hills or anything related with geography which comes in news, right? Related with map, that you have to separately note down. And as I told you earlier, you cannot expect to remember all the facts just by going through it once or twice, right? You have to repeatedly go through it. So whatever you are studying should be in a revisable form. You have to repeatedly go through it, you have to revise it repeatedly, so it should be in a revisable form, right? So anyway, let's take a look at, let's come back to this question. So the question, as I said earlier, on the left side we have been given 4 hills, and right side we have been given regions, right? So Cardamom Hills, Kaimur Hills, Mahadev Hills and Mitir Hills. And let's take a look at where they are all located, right? So Cardamom Hills towards the southernmost region of the entire Western Ghats is the Cardamom Hills. And we are having, say, Kaimur Hills towards almost the the eastern regions in the Peninsular region. We are not exactly eastern region, but towards this region we are having the Kaimur Hills. And the Mahadev Hills is located in the central India towards south of Satpura ranges. Say Vindhya, Satpura, and south of this Satpura we are having the Mahadev Hills. And the Mitir Hills, it's situated in the northeastern regions, right? As you can see here, which is given as number 4, right? So here, right, the answer, Cardamom Hills is marked with Coromandel coast. Okay, I forgot, we'll just again go through the regions also. In this picture, the coastal regions can be divided into various regions, and the major classifications include, say, Coromandel coast, Malabar coast, and say Konkan coast and Makran coast, right? So starting with Makran coast, it's almost towards the Gujarat, those regions, and southward in the Maharashtra, those regions we'll call it as say Konkan coast, and towards the Karnataka and the Kerala, right, we are calling it as Malabar coast, and on the eastern side, say Tamil Nadu till the Andhra Pradesh, we call it as a Coromandel coast. Okay. So Cardamom Hills is marked with Coromandel coast. Actually, the Cardamom Hills is not on the coastal region, right? And the Cardamom Hills, this is not a correct pair, right? Cardamom Hills is marked here with Coromandel coast, which is wrong. So you can eliminate, going through the options, you can eliminate one from it, right? You can eliminate the option A because it is having 1 in it. The next one, Kaimur Hills, which is marked with Konkan coast. As you have seen earlier, Kaimur Hills is not located on the coastal region, again on the interior region, and it's almost toward those eastern regions, right? The northeastern regions of the Peninsular Plateau. So here, the second option is also not correctly matched. And if you know that, straight away you will get the answer. Because going through the options, there are 3 options having 2 in it, right? And if you know that the second option is wrong, you straight away get the answer as C, which is 3 and 4. The third one, Mahadevi Hills on central India, right? And the Mikir Hills on the northeast India. So here answer comes out as 3 and 4. So I mean again repeating, like apart from the answer for this question, you need to understand how to study these things, right? So try to incorporate, like, what I've told you through this video, like, you can interrelate these various facts and everything. And if you've already done it, like, comment what are the opinions on it and the way in which you can improve it, or how does it go for you, like, are you able to answer questions after doing it? Thank you.